The summer wind came blowing in from across the sea. It lingered there to touch her hair and walk with me. All summer long we sang a song and strolled that golden sand to sweethearts and the summer wind. All right, let's talk anime. I again, it's always been tough for me to come up with just absolute favorites. I mean, in some cases it works, but when I like to have a favorite anime, for me, when you're just getting max enjoyment out of something, and I've seen a number of different anime that gave me max enjoyment. It's like almost impossible to try and pick one that is just the superior. There are individual anime where I can pick a favorite character, like One Piece is one of the rare occasions where my favorite character is the main character because Monkey D. Luffy, you don't get any cooler than him. But it's always hard for me. So I like hearing what you guys think as far as favorites. Again, whether it's the favorite show or the favorite character overall, or a favorite villain, or just discussing anime in general. Brother Reese here says no notification. How's the new house? New house is really good. Notifications are garbage. Yeah, that's the last couple days. Notifications have been absolute jack shit. And I don't know what more we can do about it. I was hoping to put more and more time into live streams because I just enjoy them so much. I enjoy hanging out and talking with you guys. But it's gotten harder and harder, harder because the notifications become fewer and fewer. I don't know anymore. Again, I had told you guys, we have over 60,000 people here that have turned on notifications, subscribed and turned on notifications. We start a live stream. If you sent notifications out to 60,000 people, just based on curiosity alone, you'd have a couple hundred minimum in here. But YouTube doesn't care. Now, if you're one of their favored few, if you're a top end YouTuber, they'll do something about it. But for the rest of us, it's just they don't care. Millie Joe says my favorite anime is King of the Hill. Peggy Hill is waifu. Peggy Hill is. I don't know why Peggy Hill always just struck me as. I don't even know what the word I wanted. She's just. I don't want to say obnoxious because she's not really over the top obnoxious. There's just something off-putting about her, I guess is the best way to put it. I think Hank could have done better. That's all I'm trying to say. Hank should have shopped around a little more. Maybe Bobby'd be closer to normal. Kelly says my favorite anime so far is Demon Slayer. That's a good call. But I'm ready for Chainsaw Man to be animated. Kelly, I hear a lot of talk about Chainsaw Man. Chrome talks about it a lot. And I don't really know anything about it. I mean, one can make a giant leap in it being called Chainsaw Man, that there might be some violence involved. But I really don't know anything about that one. And, and Jeff's got a frog. It wouldn't be the first time, too, that an anime title was misleading as to what actually went on. But yeah, a lot of people talking about that Chainsaw Man. Boku no Pico, yeah, Kyron. Sword Art Online for Drake. I like Sword Art Online. I even like the abridged. The Kirito is always right. Was it Kirito is always right? He didn't call it corporation, organization, or whatever it was. That was all good stuff. Yeah, I like the relationship a lot in SAO. I like the concept too. I've always been, for the most part, there's been a couple weren't as high on my list, but for the most part, I like anime where they based it at least partially within a video game. Surprising, or centered it around it. I just think that's a good confluence, video games and anime. The ones, for me, the one notable exception to that was I actually am one of the people that didn't like No Game, No Life all that much. Now, I shouldn't say that. I liked it. It just doesn't stack up to how much I liked the other anime I've seen. Again, I've been fortunate because I get all my anime recommended to me by you guys, so I don't see anything that's bad. But No Game, No Life is well down on my list. But other than that, Overlord is another one. Even though I love the first episode of Overlord. I've told you guys that just because I could feel it. Those guys all just sitting around talking about how much it's going to suck, that their game servers are going to go down and they're going to lose all that they put into it, and they're going to lose what they all built together and stuff. It was really, really sad and really well done. I like that a lot. Brother, he says, I just bought on eBay some Uniqlo one-piece shirts for the new Shanks movie. They're being sold exclusively in Japan, so figured to get them before it sells out. Yeah. There's a Uniqlo in Disney Springs down in Disney World, and whenever we get to go down to Disney, I always make it a point to go in there because their anime shirts are always different. And you never know what anime it's going to be from or anything, and I found some pretty cool stuff down there. Excuse me. Kyron says Sword Art Online Abridged is way better than the actual show. A lot of people have said that. You should continue to watch SAO Abridged. There are many more episodes than what you reacted to on YouTube by now. Sure, if they would stop filing copyright strikes against them, the Abridged series, that would help a lot. They may have stopped by now, but that's why I stopped. I just got tired of... I could turn back the copyright strikes, but it got to be a pain in the ass. Solara says, I recall recently I had a period of not having notifications for live streams or videos on this channel for 6 weeks. I thought you quit uploading. I've told the gang before, Solara, I've given up contacting YouTube about it. And it's funny, too, if you reach a certain number of subscribers or whatever, they give you an option to where you can get a hold of supposedly people or moderators that are a little higher up along the line at YouTube. I contact them, and the thing of it is, they're like 5-year-olds. They just deny. If I say, well, why do the notifications not go out? Well, they do. Well, no, they don't, because why would I have, 25, 30 people coming to me independently of one another saying, oh man, Mr. Stream didn't get notified? Why would they make that up? There's no gain for someone to make that up. So no, you didn't send them out. And then they would write back and say, yeah, the notifications were sent out. So they deny that they could possibly do anything wrong. I take it Matar likes Pokemon. Yu-Gi-Oh! Is greater than Pokemon. Hi, different. See, Hennessy says, Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon are two I don't really know much of. I was just from the Abridged, from Egotas. And what I know of Pokemon is just from the Pokemon Go that I played. And the little bits and pieces, you pick up just in pop culture references and stuff. It's not a bad call at all, Willie. He says Cowboy Bebop is my favorite show ever created. That was a fun adventure. Makishima from Psycho Pass is my favorite villain. Don't really have a favorite hero. Good ones. Yeah, Cowboy Bebop. Well, you guys don't need me to tell you that. Cowboy Bebop was just so exceptional. And Radical Ed is one of my top favorite characters of all time too. There's just something so quirky, unique, and cool about her, especially the way she ended up leaving the Bebop. It was so perfectly Radical Ed, just one day decides that, okay, it's over, and off she goes, and the dog trots along with her, and she leaves them the note outside on the patio area there, and that was good. That was good stuff. Igor says, my Dress Up Darling is a good romantic anime. Yes, it is. That was surprisingly good. I enjoyed that a lot. Myron is up there, one of the best anime girls. Cute and hot at the same time. Yeah, that was very, very good. Yep. Good story. I liked that one a lot. I enjoyed that a lot. Solara says, one channel I follow, Alcus Breach. I haven't had a notification for his videos for 8 months. He uploaded yesterday. Yeah, that's what I mean. I don't ever want to give the wrong impression. It's not just me, like I'm being singled out. It's just YouTube doesn't give a shit. And if you do say something about it, they still don't give a shit unless, again, you're somebody with multi-millions of subscribers or something along those lines. If you have a little pull in social media, they'll respond. But other than that, they're just like, nah, fuck you. Kyron says Pokemon is a bit too childish. Nothing against it, but it gets boring every episode. Team Rocket comes up with a new disguise, and nobody ever sees through it. Then they get blasted off, usually by Pikachu. See, I don't know. Like I said, I've never really watched the show. Askeladd is my personal favorite. Static Killer says, yeah. Yeah, good calls. Good calls. Seven Deadly Sins, yes, the first 2 seasons, Drake. I've seen the first 2 seasons of it and really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed it. The Bon and Elaine romance is one of my favorite ships in anime. I just like everything about that, every element of it. Especially how when he was first getting to know her, he basically just kept getting his ass tossed off the mountain left and right. That's a great relationship. DJ5, Trinity Blood is sophisticated, a hell of a field puncher, and is gorgeous to look at, especially the battles. Besides, Abel's love of 13 spoonfuls of sugar and tea kills me. I don't know that one at all. That's interesting. I'm surprised I know, again, no notifications went out today, so it's slow in getting everybody in here, but of any of the Gooshers that are here, I don't think Trinity Blood has shown up on nominations or poll, has it? I don't remember the name. We're going to be having more nominations real shortly, too, because we're going to, we just finished up, oh my gosh, Fate Zero. We're going to be finishing that up, and then we'll be looking for another show to watch. Have I watched Corpse Party Tortured Souls? Nope, I haven't seen that one, Matar. Have not heard that one. Willie says, but I'm sure we can all agree that Bible Black has the best plot. It was nominated at some point, was it, Willie? I just couldn't remember that name. Yeah, I felt pretty confident it hadn't made the poll, but I mean, just from the little description there, sounds interesting. A lot of people are big supporters of Batman the Animated Series, Hennessy. I wouldn't. What do you guys think? What do you Gooshers think? I wouldn't be surprised. Didn't Batman the Animated Series, it was either the last round or the round before last, did really well in nominations. And certainly I wouldn't be adverse to that. I told you guys, the first passion I had for anything entertainment-wise in my life was the original Batman series. Batman was the original hero to me. That old 1960s TV series. Love that stuff. Although, yeah, brother, he says, although the train is gone, Susan still lurks around to poke your buttons. Yeah. That's why the train could unfortunately never be the ultimate villain in the arc of Spaz Boys comedy. Or in this tale of Spaz Boys comedy, because Susan will always monopolize that number 1 spot. Connor says, my friend met the voice actor for Batman. That's kind of cool. That's cool, getting to meet a voice actor of that magnitude. Hey, Big Green. Good to see you, pal. I liked Lelouch, Ava Michelle. I thought Lelouch was a really good character. I mean, he was a character that was full of his own failings and faults. And I liked the way that whole story was structured around him as well. Plus, I liked the ending. Yeah, he was good character. Brother, he says, I would love more cartoons and live action shows. Think it's a refreshing experience on the Goosh. Well, BTG has been sponsoring the Sarah Connor Chronicles as far as live action, and that's amazing. That is such a good show. God damn, I enjoyed that. Yeah, there you go. Big Green says the train was Madara and Susan is Kaguya, and that's perfect too, because the train should have been the ultimate boss, but then some bitch comes along and steals that thunder in a cheap kind of way. So that's a perfect analogy right there. Itachi, yeah, I like Itachi. David, yeah. Itachi's a great character. I know a lot of people get down on Itachi, and generally, I've seen that if people are down on Itachi, it's just because they don't like the fact that he's so popular, and Itachi has so many fanboys and fangirls. But to me, the fact remains, he's just a really good character. I mean, what a tortured, conflicted, badass of a character Itachi is when you really think about it. Solara says, I watched this anime movie recently, Dokusei, about two singers at an all-boys school falling in love. One is a boisterous rock star guy, and the other is a quiet introvert nerd. Never heard of that one, Solaris. It's interesting. So is a yes for SMG4 reactions? Nope. Not a yes for SMG4 reactions at all. Not even been brought up, other than the ones we've already done. Big Green says, if we're talking anime, you need to read this funny shit. Okay, hold on. Let me grab Big Green's link here real quick. In a survey that was held last year in Japan, 1,000 Japanese people were asked, what anime manga series do you want Hollywood to make into a live-action movie? The number one answer was none, as it should be. The Japanese people know. None got 456 of the 1,000. That's perfect. I salute the Japanese and their tastes. Rigid Rat said, this might be the first one of your streams has worked on my old smart TV. I wonder why this one. Susan's probably regressing our tech. That's probably what it is, Rigid Rat. Now she's resorted to that. What's my least favorite or hated anime? I don't have any I hate, Connor, so it'd have to be a least favorite. And that's genuine. You know, if I hated one of them I'd seen, I'd tell you. But I think the one that I enjoyed the least, and it's one whose name I constantly forget. I keep thinking if I think about it for a minute, it'll come to me, but it probably won't. And it is right on the tip of my tongue. It's the one with the with all the women battling in a quote unquote sport with their boobs and butts trying to knock each other into the water. What's the name of that one? I mean, it was cute and it was fun for a while looking at titties, but it's just like, never really. They didn't put a lot of effort at all into telling a story there. Why the hell? That's it. Keijo. Thanks, Big Green. Yeah, Keijo would probably be it. Keijo or No Game, No Life were two that were not high on my enjoyment meter. Solar says, I tried getting into Demon Slayer recently, and it's not as good as I'd heard. Ain't bad, but really, I really like Demon Slayer a lot, especially this most recent season. That was amazing. Yeah, Keijo. Thank you, guys. Yeah, Keijo is, even for me, and you guys know how much I like to look at boobies, but after a while, if all you're doing is showing boobies over and over, doing the same thing, you know, bouncing into one another, it's like, okay, if we want to go for pure mindlessness, I can just go over to one of the adult sites. I don't need. That's why I always said, that High School DxD is really high on my list of favorite anime, and it's not just about the boobies. Because again, anything can get old. I just really like the characters and the story in that. It's an amazing story. Rigid Rat says, have you seen Spy X Family? I recently caught up on it. It's pretty good. With how popular it got, I'm sure it'll get another season eventually. We're in the process of it right now. It's being sponsored at the Goosh right now, and I'm on, I think, 3 episodes in? 3, maybe 4. I think it was 3. Yes, and I like it a lot. Freeform Jazz says no game, no second season. Feels bad, man. Really, Willie says I tried to get into Trigun, but I found it weird, and the main character is completely annoying. No, I enjoyed Trigun. And I'm not a Western style person at all for Western animations, Western movies, anything like that. But I like Trigun. I had a good time with that one. Yeah, Anya, yes, Anya from Spy X Family is so adorable. That's just that. Yeah, that show has a lot of promise. I'm really anxious to get caught up on it, and hopefully, like you say, I'm sure we'll get more of that with, as was mentioned, with as wildly popular as it's become. I've heard of Saint Seiya, Joshua. I don't know a lot about it, but I know I've heard the name. If you like full action and characters, see what we watch ends up being what gets voted in over at the Goosh at our Patreon, and at the $1 level, I decide the ones that go in there, but I decide that based on good things I've heard around the Goosh from the Gooshers. So basically, that community determines what we're going to watch. Hamad says, Doflamingo, greatest One Piece villain of all time. That's fair. I don't know if he'd be my number one or not, but he'd be close. I'd have to sit down and think them all through. I mean, my most hated, which you all know, is Arlong. But that's for that one individual act. I just can't get past it. But as far as best villain, yeah, it could very well be Doflamingo. Oh, Naruto is great, Charge Bolt. Naruto also has a special place for me, too, because it was the first anime I'd really watched from start to finish. Prior to that, I'd seen Dragon Ball Z Abridged, and I'd watched a lot of Dragon Ball clips, but Naruto was the first one I watched in entirety, and, well, I shouldn't say, that's not the only reason it's a favorite to me. It's great storytelling. I think the storytelling was awesome. Is this, I'm just looking at something. Are you guys getting a decent signal? Because I'm just in my studio monitor here, but it could be the settings in YouTube. I'm getting like a 360 look to this stream, and it should be full 1080. I just want to make sure that isn't what you guys are seeing. Roberta from Black Lagoon, holy shit. She's WJ, she's a good character. Psycho Maid, holy crap. She was good. I like her character. What a fucking lunatic. Her battles with Revy, that was some great stuff. Hi says my two favorite series are still Shaman King and Gintama. Of course, Gintama is one of the dailies over at the Goose right now, and yeah, Gintama's a blast. And Shaman King is one that's being sponsored. As a matter of fact, a couple episodes of that will be coming up very shortly. You think so? David says King Piccolo is the best villain from any Dragon Ball show. He's a good villain. I don't know. I always really liked Perfect Cell as a villain. Yeah, I mean, Frieza, ended up liking Frieza more even when we got into Super. But I still think, yeah, my favorite Dragon Ball villain is probably Perfect Cell. Brother E says, in my opinion, Naruto is the weakest of the big three. Its main cast is the most annoying. The side characters carry the story, and the legacy of the show is Boruto. Still think it's excellent, but it's the weakest. I don't know that I'd agree with that. I don't know how I'd rank the big three because I like them all so much. You may be right. I don't know. I have to think that through. Morgan came in. I knew that this would be Morgan's take. Aizawa, top tier husband. For those who don't know, Morgan just got to meet Aizawa's voice actor, and Aizawa put a real dent in well, I shouldn't say put a dent in Morgan. That would be fair, but made a real challenge to your love for L. That surprised me that Aizawa's character is able to get up to that level with you. Wade says, "Hey Curtis, a teaser for Mashi just dropped. Glad to see the series getting attention. I don't know that one. Interesting. WJ says, I like her better in proper combat garb than a maid suit, to be honest. Also, both her and Revy are available in statue form wearing bikinis. Oh my goodness. Yeah, yeah. That would be some figures to spend a few bucks on. that oh. Um but and again, you guys know how names escape me all the time. But you talk about badass fighters with incredible bodies. You, it's right on the tip of my tongue. In Jormungand, um, the one that has the hots for Coco, the one of the crew there. Oh my god, I hate that. If you guys, one of you guys will know. If not, I'll look it up because it's going to drive me nuts. And when I do that, when I blank out on those memories of those names, it's like I can feel it. It's right there. Yeah. Boo Boo says, is Hunter x Hunter still your favorite anime? I don't really have a favorite. I've come to the conclusion it's definitely in the elite tier. There's a couple handfuls of them that are just better than anything else I've ever seen, and Hunter x Hunter's right there. Morgan says, I literally just cackled. You're so right. I still adore L. But I don't know, man. I think Aizawa has more depth to him. I love them for different reasons. Yeah, I was just surprised because I know how real your love is for L. I got to find as a matter of fact, my stuff over here. I got to find my L figure that I just bought and get him up on the shelf. But I was just surprised to see Aizawa could make a run at him. Willie says, been watching Overlord 4. Oh, I can't wait. No spoilers, obviously. It's a bit slow to start. The OP is awesome. Oh, I just can't wait, Willie. That I'll probably, well, not probably, I will. At our $1 level at the Goosh, we have, we're just about to start Black Clover. And then we're going to catch up on One Piece because we left off at episode 1000. I want to get some more One Piece action in. Then we're going to catch up on Kaguya-sama Love is War. And if it's all ready to go by then, I'll probably, which it should be, I'll probably go right into Overlord. Oh. Wolverine says Nina Tucker was conceived doggy style. Oh, that's awful. Oh. Rigid Rat says, who's your favorite character that was introduced in Dragon Ball Super? Mine is Beerus because he's equal parts funny and terrifying. Oh, I don't know. Yeah, I ended up liking Beerus. I didn't think I would either. I don't know if I have a specific favorite in Super. Wouldn't be Zenny. Beerus would be a top contender for me, though. Yeah, I ended up liking him. Brother E says, well, I think we can agree One Piece is better than Naruto. When it comes to Bleach and Naruto, it can be a toss-up. I think Bleach handles their ending better than Naruto and a better main cast. Yeah, that's what I mean. It's to me, that's so close that it's just hard to say. Put it this way. If on a given day, you were to say, okay, you're going to watch some anime. It can be Bleach or it can be Naruto. The one I chose would change from day to day, just depending on what mood I'm in. But they're both equally good. King Piccolo is up there for me, Big Green says, but then again, I have a bias, right? No, I agree with that. I think King Piccolo was a great villain. It was a great villain. The only reason he got surpassed for me by Perfect Cell is just because Perfect Cell's whole demeanor. You guys know I like characters like that. His wise ass, just the way he presents himself in that wise ass manner and everything. Lute says Bleach, the one that's fumbled its ending so hard its fandom went on fire with 99% of the cast not getting proper conclusions. Nah, sorry, Naruto definitely had a better wrap up with Naruto versus Sasuke. That's fair. That's fair. Yeah, like I say, Bleach and Naruto are really, really close to me. Naruto was really good. Naruto and Shippuden were both excellent. I thought they were great stories. Would I have rather had Madara be the final villain? Yes. But Kaguya was not enough of a detraction or distraction for me to make the show any less enjoyable. Again, I think it could have been written better and have Madara as the final boss. But Kaguya didn't ruin it for me. And if nothing else, as far as keeping the hatred alive, it wasn't Kaguya I hated. It was that little piece of shit Black Zetsu hiding in her sleeve. He ended up being my most hated character in that show. Morgan says, speaking of voice actors, I'm going to another con next month in Colorado. And Chris is once again attending. Nice. I get to meet Eri too. Oh my God, I'm so excited. I adore Eri. That's cool, Morgan. That is really awesome that you're getting to do those cons. That's a blast. And Big Green says, Roberta is my favorite in Black Cell. Black Cell. Roberta is my favorite in Black Lagoon, actually. That's fair. Roberta was a great character. And insanely badass. And the way she was brought into it and everything, yeah. And, I like that because in watching Black Lagoon and, what the clips I had seen prior and throughout the early parts of it, I kept thinking that, Revy is just going to be this basically OP monster that can just obliterate anybody she wants. And it was fun when we found out that's not the case. I mean, she's a badass, but you had people like Roberta out there who were like, nah, the queen ain't sitting on her throne. Rigid Rat says, have you not watched Black Clover yet? I start recording that. They won't be up quite yet, but I start recording that for the Goose tomorrow. If not, you're in for a treat. I love that show. I actually own a Black Clover blanket that I like to hang on my wall like a banner. Yep, we are starting it. Black Cell, new character in Dragon Ball. Yeah, Big Green. Don't shoot. That man's not black. We're just getting started on Black Clover. I can't. Again, I'm really psyched. Brian says, sorry I'm late. I'm moving back to Florida this weekend. And I've been up since the butt crack of dawn taking care of things to make sure everything is in order. I don't want to be a grown-up anymore. I don't blame you, Brian. I don't blame you. Being a grown-up sucks. Hey, Gimster, good to see you, pal. One thing that another streamer's crew discussed that if Goku and Jeets were able to get their tails back, they could get variants of super forms. Writers could be sitting on a hidden golden mine of forms. I never thought of that. Yeah, because I'm just kind of absorbing it as you say it. Yeah, if they had their tails back somehow, you could just whip open Pandora's box. Sorry, Pandora. Yeah, that's kind of interesting. I like that. Yeah, that would open up all kinds of potential there. That's a neat idea. I never really thought about that. Excuse me. Morgan says, yes, thanks. After the shit show that was the last couple of years, I've decided to say screw it and just do what I want to do rather than what people think I should do. 100%. Yes, that's my advice for everybody and anybody. It's one thing I've learned in all my years. Do what you want to do. And don't worry about what people think you should be doing or how you should be living your life. Lute says if there's one thing DB doesn't need, it's more forms. I'd rather them, do anything else with the characters, have them grow than just pop a new hair color. I don't know that I feel that way. Only because, yes, have they gone through a ridiculous number of forms? Yeah, they have. But for me, Lute, it's more like that is Dragon Ball. That's part of what I like about Dragon Ball. So if they pop up a few more forms and the tails facilitate that, see, I'd be game for it. I mean, I get what you're saying. It just strikes me differently. That is Dragon Ball to me. It's just new forms. Miguel says, so apparently there's this hentai with the best animation I've ever seen. I'm not sure if you've heard about it. I don't know. You'd have to tell me the name. Ooh, Jeff, that's tough. Ooh. Would you rather have the powers of Saitama and Naruto or own a Death Note? Well, let's just keep it to Saitama. I'm not worried about Naruto as far as powers. See, I admit to being a little bit of a sociopath, so, Death Note would be fucking fun. Um, as much as I hate say, well, I shouldn't say hate say. I'd have to not have the Death Note. I'd want to be Saitama. One Punch Man. You don't even know. We don't even know. Well, I didn't see season 2 because unfortunately the reviews on it were not good. But from what I know of him from season 1, we don't even know if Saitama has a weakness, if he has the ability to be seriously hurt. And that one punch, yeah, I'd have to take Saitama. Brian says, out of curiosity, have we 86 DBZ reactions? Last one I saw was episode 10. I know there's a poll about how many to do at a time. Yeah, I just don't have enough time to fit that one in too. And they weren't popular at all, surprisingly, here at the YouTube channel. So if we do them, it'll be over at the Goosh. It did surprisingly well in the last series of nominations and poll, though, Brian. So I think we'll be getting back to it. I would say at some time. We all had a blast over at the Goosh at the Patreon watching the OG Dragon Ball. That was a ton of fun. So, excuse me, I do think it'll be coming back up there. Chester says, you seen Panty and Stocking yet? The original, yes. The new season. Is the new season out yet? I don't think the new season's out yet, is it? But yes, I've seen Panty and Stocking. It's great. I love the little sluts. Willie says, Death Note, because isn't the point of Saitama that he is too powerful and now doesn't enjoy life? Yes and no, but see, what they're saying is, the only reason I say this, Willie, is the question was, would I rather have the Death Note or Saitama's powers? See, I don't think I would stop enjoying life because I was too powerful. You know, I think I would have a different take on having those powers. So that's why I got to go with Saitama. Hey, Chrome, good to see you. Oh, you caught me just as I was making dinner. Chicken katsu. Nice. I think we're going to go out. Down here in the South, we've never had it before. There's a Bob Evans restaurant not too far from us. And so we're going to get out the van, get Renee, my disabled daughter, get her in the van because she loves mashed potatoes, and head out to Bob Evans later. Dayton Chris says, I like the forms of Dragon Ball as long as they look drastically different. Yeah, like I say, for me, I get what Lud was saying, and I see how some people could be like, okay, no more forms. But for me, I like it just because, again, that's Dragon Ball. You know, I just like seeing them achieve these new levels all the time. Willie says, that's true. You would become Supreme Emperor of the world. Yeah. See, I don't think and I get why Saitama feels that way, but I don't think I'd get bored with that kind of power. That's true. Tsunami says, yeah, but Saitama can't clone jutsu and have a big orgy now, can he? Yes, in taking Saitama powers, there are some things I'm giving up. Yeah, you're not wrong. Miguel says, the hentai is called The Man Who Saved Me on My Isekai Trip is a Killer. What the hell? That's quite the title anyway. Yeah, Rigid Rat. Penny and Stocking is actually coming back. Coming, not coming. Clear his throat. Phrasing. Penny and Stocking was a blast. Oh, man. Penny and Stocking with garter belt, for those who don't know what we're talking about. It's just silly, fun, goofy, off the wall, but just so well done. So funny. And it's about two little sluts, and I appreciate sluts. Yeah, apparently so, Lud. Lud says, so now hentai have started getting synopsis anime-esque titles too. Apparently that's the case. David says, Baby from GT is top 5 villains. I don't remember Baby. See, I've only seen GT in David in clips, and it was years ago. I don't remember Baby. Willie says, Naruto used clone jutsu to bone Hinata. You can't convince me otherwise. No, I wouldn't try and convince you otherwise. That sounds about right. I think you're onto something there. Cryogenics, and he says, yo, Spazman Curtis, how you been? Amigo, I finally caught stream again since we played Goose Game. Been busy with life and work. Yeah, we should be playing that again pretty soon, Cryogenic. Typically, I'll double check with BTG, but he sponsors a mid-month gaming, excuse me, guys, along with the end-of-month gaming, and that's typically Goose Goose Duck. And the last time it came time for it was when I was serving my Susan-inspired suspension, so we weren't able to really get a lot going on with it. I mean, we had a good stream, but it's not as good as when we can do it here, where more people can be could be potentially be notified. Masterful says, "Hey man, first time joining live stream. Well, good to have you. Love your content. By the way, how do you always stay so positive? It's infectious." Well, thanks. I appreciate that. For me, it's not hard. I've come years ago. I came to a point in life where it's like, really the amount of time we have to spend here is fleeting, and it's just I'm going to do my best to enjoy it every chance I get. I mean, I'm like anybody else. I get depressed here or there, but I'm able to battle off just with that thought. It's like, oh man, I don't have enough time, especially at my age now. I don't have enough time left to spend it being bummed. I'd rather spend it being happy. So it just kind of comes easy to me now. Johnny says, if I had the power of Saitama, don't expect me to use it for good. I never claimed I was using it for good either, pal. I'm with you. Our community and their families will be spared, of course, but fuck everyone else. Yeah, I'm with you. Chrome says, got some new info on Urusei Yatsura. They showed off another character redesign for the remake, plus first part is from October to April. Okay, let me check out Chrome's link. Cool, this one interests me. You've been talking about it so much, Chrome. Because I know nothing about that show, but Chrome is really high on Urusei Yatsura, so it's kind of piqued my interest. Brian says, last time I got depressed was when Perfect Strangers went off the air, but that's another story. Wasn't it Balky? DJ5 says, yeah, that or screw with someone that pissed you off. Yeah. Saitama's powers would be pretty fun. No, Saitama would be just fine. I was going to say, if I had, I'm just trying to think, would I rather have Goku's abilities all the way up to Ultra Instinct? But no, I'd settle just fine with Saitama's powers. Balky and Larry, that was it. Yeah, Brian, that's right. I remember that show. Man, that show was big too back in the day. Perfect Strangers. It was so it was so kind of dopey and everything, but it caught on. It was a big deal. Dayton says, I only watched the second movie of that anime as a kid. I remember it came on late at night, Sci-Fi Channel in the 90s. Oh, I don't know which one we were talking about. Rigid Rat says, baby is like Boo, except he possesses people's bodies and both controls them and makes them stronger in the process. I should remember that. So I'm sure I saw, again, I only watched clips of GT. And it sounds vaguely familiar, but I can't really place the character. Oh, okay. Okay, Urusei Yatsu. Gotcha, Dayton Chris. Yeah, Chrome really likes it. And she says, all the characters are so colorful. I'm curious how they'll handle the over-exaggerated expressions. Yeah, you got me really curious on it. I don't know what we're going to do. I'll have to start seeing, maybe I can, I doubt it'll help. I'm just trying to get you guys notifications for the streams because there were next to none again today. I was trying to think of how, see, when my day starts, I'm not sure what time I'll be streaming, because otherwise I could set the streams up and give them a time like I was doing for a while later in the day. I'll try just to try and maybe get you guys, because I still see it all the time now. We'll have a stream, it gets over, and then either in the comments or over in PMs at the Goosh or something, people left and right are telling me, oh, never got notified, or they got the notification after it was over, or shit like that. Miguel says you should read the manga Berserk. I 100% recommend it. Well, I've seen the anime, and the anime was amazing. That's fantastic. Rigid Rat says, next is Super Saiyan Rainbow, the most fabulous transformation. That would be kind of cool. That would be a fabulous transformation. Absolutely. Oh, Parasite the Maximum. Yeah, that's a good show, DJ. I'm well into that now. That's being sponsored over at the Goosh as well. That's good. I like that. Miggy's. I got to admit, if I could have a Miggy style parasite, in other words, didn't take the whole body, just took the arm, so you still had your own free will and stuff. I think I kind of want it now. Especially with seeing all the powers that you get from having the parasite in there. Shinichi's got some badass abilities now. Yeah, I think if I could have a Miggy, I would take a Miggy. Yes. Big Green says, "Oh, for adding Goku into the mix, then fuck Saitama. Having Ultra Instinct powers would be cool as shit." Yeah, that's why I always think, because when people ask Big Green, what, will ask me which anime character's abilities would you like to have? That's why Goku always comes to mind right away. That is if you get Goku at Ultra Instinct, yeah, that'd be hard to turn down. Yeah, there'd be some changes made. If I get Goku Ultra Instinct powers, just so you guys know you have something to look forward to, you will become the ruling class of the planet. So you guys all got that to look forward to, because I'm sure I'm going to get Ultra Instinct at some point. Dan says, most underwhelming villain? Ooh, I don't know. Boy, that's tough, just in general. Nobody's popping right to mind. Most underwhelming villain. Yeah, I'm drawing a blank, Dan. I can't think of anybody that, that was so underwhelming that the villain struck me as that. Or at least I'm not remembering it if I did. Yeah, I don't know. Big Green says people wouldn't even be able to tell a difference with you. Your beard is already silver, so I wouldn't have a tell. Chrome says he's talking about the second film, Beautiful Dreamer, a really influential film, partly inspired Inception and a lot of time loop stories in anime and films. It's considered one of the greatest anime films. Wow, cool. I didn't even know that one. Beautiful Dreamer. Tsunami says nothing but debauchery if I was super powerful. Yeah. When I get my Goku Ultra Instinct powers, you guys are gonna be set. Yeah. That's not wrong, brother. He says Hody Jones was a shit villain. He was just bland. Yeah. He never really inspired a lot of anything. Yeah, that's true. David says, if you want something unique to react to, watch this Australian animated show on YouTube called The Big Les Show. It's all animated on MS Paint, but it's really charming and super funny. That's cool. Keeping something entirely done on Microsoft Paint. That's pretty cool. Big Green says, I wanted to say Kaguya was underwhelming, but I might just be salty because Madara was better. Yeah, I think that's fair though, Big Green. Particularly if we compare Kaguya to Madara, then she's clearly underwhelming. Because Madara, I think, is one of the great villains of all time, and Kaguya clearly is not in that category in any way. So yeah, I think that's fair. Yeah, I think when you put Kaguya into context as directly following Madara as the villain, then that makes her even more underwhelming. So that's fair. Milog says, I know where I'd want my parasite. The replicated part can still feel and act like the original, so I'd have a parasite Swiss Army penis. Yeah. Oh, yeah. If you got. Well, when you think of the abilities Shinichi has achieved from having the parasite inside, whew, yeah, if you concentrated all that into penile work, yeah, that could be a keeper. Lute says, maybe it's my excess of degeneracy and lack of sociopathy, but I'd never take powers of people like Goku or Saitama. Too impractical unless you want to become a mass murderer. I'd take Naruto's versatility. That's fair. But, yeah, like I say, I don't have any lack of sociopathic tendencies, so it figures for me to want them. Devil says, what's your favorite anime you watch on your Patreon? Well, the vast majority of anime I've seen, the huge vast majority is stuff I've watched on Patreon. And like I said, I can't pick one as a favorite. I just can't. Miguel says, what anime character are you cosplaying this Halloween? It wouldn't be anime. I always said if I get to go back to another con or something, what I would like to cosplay as is old fat Thanos, because I already got the face. All I would do, I would let the hair in my goatee grow up in here too, and then darken all that hair, and then make everything else purple, and that should give you that chin look that Thanos has. I just think it'd be funny to be able to pull off a character with just changing some coloration and no of the face and nothing else. Lute says, Kaguya on her own wasn't a bad villain at all, but her placement in the story, and even more so being a replacement for Madara, doomed her. I agree. If she was more standalone, I think she'd fit better. Yep, I 100% with that one. Yep, I don't think Kaguya was a horrifically bad villain. I think Kaguya was put in a horrifically bad spot. And, I think the vast majority of us as fans, as we're watching, and Madara was built to be such a boss villain. He was such a great villain. And then you find out that it's not him who is the final boss. And it's like, who then? And like you say, by comparison, Kaguya was just a disappointment. That whoever filled in that spot was doomed to failure, basically. Oh, that's cool. Morgan says, I'm thinking about cosplaying as Mrs. Joke or female Aizawa. That's cool. That would be really cool. Yeah, I agree. Devil Sugar or Shugav. Kaguya was introduced in a bad way. Yeah, I think the character that was going to be put in Kaguya's position within the story, I think that character had no chance. I think too many of us rightfully wanted Madara as the final boss. And I still think he should have been. Now again, it didn't affect me as negatively as I've heard other fans be affected, that Madara didn't end up being the ultimate boss. I still loved the show. I still loved Shippuden. But yes, it would have been better had Kaguya not been a part of it. Willie says, I'm not a fan of Naruto, but even I respect Madara bossness. Anyway, what's your favorite anime redemption arc? Ooh. Oh, boy, that's a tough one off the top of my head, too. Anime redemption arc. I don't know, guys. What were help me think. What were some good redemption arcs? That's not really... See, that's not classical redemption arc. What I was thinking too is Meruem, but his entire existence takes place within one arc. what I liked about him was it wouldn't be a redemption arc; it would be a character arc. Is that he was always tragic to me because he started out as such a pure villain that knew nothing else, and as he died, was actually gaining humanity. Let's see. So, Gin from Bleach, Vegeta's Sacrifice. That's a good one. Yeah, Gin from Bleach is good. Hachi from One Piece. Yeah, Hachi was a good redemption arc. Vegeta's Sacrifice. So Big Green's right there. Of those, yeah, Vegeta's Sacrifice. Seeing that, I've always said that I believe Vegeta has one of the best character arcs in all of anime. So given that, that would be tough to beat. Shao Tucker, Gimster says. Fuck Shao Tucker. Brother E says, who would you say are the better villains as far as Pain and Madara versus Aizen and Ulquiorra? Well, I would leverage that one just on Madara. Madara is my favorite villain of those four. So I'd have to go that way. And Pain's a great villain too. And a unique villain, Pain was. So yeah, it'd be those. Not taking anything away from Aizen and Ulquiorra, but Pain and Madara, yeah. Lud says, I'm very curious about Endeavor's redemption arc. Me too, because I don't like Endeavor. So it's going to be interesting to see how far they can redeem him in my eyes. It's one of the most ballsy redemption arcs I've seen. That's true. And it's being handled in a well-mannered, non-anime, stereotypical way. So I got to put it up. No, I'm very curious about it as well, too, Lud. Because, again, he's somebody you guys know what my triggers are. And he was abusive to his kids, or neglectful to his kids, and abusive to his wife. So he is starting at way underground. He's got a long way to dig out before he can even start to be redeemed for me. Yeah, Willie says, I'll agree with Vegeta. He went from pure evil to decent father figure and ally to Goku. Yeah, that's a good call. Because, I've always said he has one of my favorite character arcs ever in anything. Excuse me. True? Brother, he says Pudding was a good redemption. That was an emotional roller coaster. That was a good redemption too. Yeah, I'm staying on the fence, Morgan. She says, I'm not here for Endeavor's redemption arc. And that's almost the way I would lean, but I got to admit they've piqued my interest with it. And again, he's such a piece of shit that I'm not sure if they can get me there to where I'm like, oh, all right, yeah, Endeavor's okay. I'm not sure. Yeah, that's a tough one. But I'm gonna try and keep an open mind as we go. Yeah, Johnny agrees. Fuck Endeavor. Yeah. Chrome says, I'm caught up with MHA's manga. Without spoiling, I actually really like where Endeavor goes, and where the final arc is meant to end this year. So yeah, that's why I'm I'm going to keep an open mind about it. Because he's not, I don't want to place him in the category of irredeemable, even if only for my own enjoyment of the show. There'd only be a few that I think would be irredeemable to me. I don't think there's anything you could ever do for Arlong's character that would make me give two shits about him or care if he died. That just... blowing that woman away in front of her two little girls like that and everything, and doing it for no reason other than that you're a bag of shit, makes you a bag of shit forever to me. Zeno says, I think the point is that we have to decide rather than explicitly say whether or not Endeavor actually deserves anything. No, he doesn't. I don't believe he does deserve anything. But like you say, we as individuals have to decide whether or not we're willing to accept it when it goes there. Morgan says, yeah, see, I don't hate Endeavor anymore, and I hate that I don't hate him anymore, but I'm still like, nah, he abused his wife and kids. Good hero, not a good person. I'm thinking, Morgan, if I had to guess where I would end up as per my feelings on Endeavor, you probably just described it. That's it. Again, that would just, if I'm guessing how it's going to come out, I would say that would probably be the case. Yes, I like Gurren Lagann, Danny. Yeah, great show. Great show. I always think it's funny the when you think back on an anime, you watch the things that immediately impress you. And I just, every time we talk about Gurren Lagann, I'm immediately transported back to them being underground with the drills and everything. And I was just so fascinated by that concept and by that look and everything. Yeah. Yeah, Gurren Lagann was very good. Krusty says, for real though, Endeavor was always an ass, so was Vegeta, truth. Both have their redemption arcs. They're still assholes, but one just started his redemption and the other had like 15 years by now. True, but see, it for me, Krusty, and this is just on a personal level. Vegeta being a bad boy and killing the people that he feels were on the opposite side of the fence as him and so on and so forth falls into line with villainy. Just basic run-of-the-mill villainy. When you abuse the people who are supposed to be closest to you, as Endeavor did, that's a whole different thing. You know, Vegeta being a dick and killing Nappa is fucked up, and he's a douche. But it's not the level of slapping your wife and abusing your children to me. Kane says, always saw Piccolo as more of a big brother to Gohan, only like 5 or 6 year difference. Yeah, I think Kane, I think a lot of us look at it that way, but it's fun for the laughs to just see him as Gohan's dad. Because we all know Goku is really weak in the parenting department, and Big Green came in and took care of business, so it just became fun to see him that way, I think. Let's see. Chrome says, like, they don't pull the typical anime thing of having him not actually do anything wrong. They just explain the reasons why he became the way he was and try to have him move forward. Yeah. Like I say, I'll keep an open mind on it. But I just, he's got a tough road ahead. Lou says, yeah, agreed. That's why I said it's handled in a non-stereotypical way. The series lets you decide whether his redemption is successful or not, rather than making it a forced point of, yes, he's good now. That's true. And just what we've seen so far, yeah, I agree with that. They are doing a good job of leaving it up to you. Yeah. Yeah, that wouldn't have, and to take it a step further, Lou, you're right, that wouldn't have worked. If they tried to force that, as you said, force the point of, yeah, he's a good guy now. Now you like him. If they tried to force that on me, it would never take. Like, fuck you. Guy smacked his wife and abused his kids. You're not going to fucking tell me he's a good guy. Now, if you're going to show me that he's redeemed and not just try and cram it down their throat, have the whole world cheering his name, then it's got a shot. Oh, really? Chrome says, from what I understand, TFS really regrets starting the Dad Piccolo meme. Really? I didn't know that. I think it's funny. I mean, it makes sense when you look at it because, again, Goku's certainly not a bad father. He's just not good at it, if that makes any sense. Endeavor's a bad father. Smacked his kids around and stuff because they weren't living up to what he wanted at a given moment. Goku just is dumb. When it comes to anything outside of fighting, Goku's kind of a moron, and that's what makes him not a particularly good dad. Chrome says, by the way, non-anime related, but have you seen the trailer for Rob Zombie's The Munsters? It's genuinely one of the worst things I've seen. Oh, no, I haven't. I used to watch The Munsters. Let me check this link, guys. I watched The Munsters all the time when I was young. I don't want to put the audio on, but come on.
Rob Zombie, Devil's Reject.
The greatest love story ever told. Has Rob Zombie made anything of note lately? Oh, boy. the fuck? Yeah, I don't know about this, Chrome. Oh, yeah, that looks pretty bad. Oh, boy. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know that excuse me. I don't know that Rob Zombie should be allowed near camera equipment much anymore. Things have really gone south. It's like a bad YouTube skit, yeah. Wolverine says Goku straight up chose training over being there for his kids. He is definitely neglectful. Right, but that's what I'm saying. That falls into line exactly what I was saying. It does make him a bad dad, but it doesn't make him an intentionally bad dad. He just is too dumb to know better. Goku is not the type to think down the road or even think in the present that, hey, my child really needs to have his father in his life to show him. He doesn't think of that stuff. He just thinks because he's always been able, this way I see it, he's always been able to just do whatever he needed to do and get by, that anybody can, and so he goes about his business. I don't think I'm not saying he's not neglectful. He's never been intentionally or knowingly neglectful. Zeke says, are you caught up to One Piece yet? We paused at episode 1000. And what we're going to do over at the Goose, the Patreon, we're going to be watching Black Clover. And when Black Clover's done, I start it tomorrow. When Black Clover's done, I'm going to go watch some more One Piece and catch up closer to where they are now. Because there's so many, it seems like every other day you'll see something trending about One Piece online. So the hype is just too real. I got to catch up. At least I know 1015 was supposed to be a great episode and stuff. Plus, I just want to watch more One Piece. So then we're gonna catch up even further. Danny says, to be fair with Goku, he was dead multiple times, true, which kind of excuses him being absent, but he spent a lot of time with Gohan off screen training for the androids in the chamber, true. And like I say, I think with Goku, where he is neglectful or is not the kind of dad you would want a kid to have, again, it's all because of ignorance. I don't know how much that excuses, but it's not like a dad that's going, well, I know my kid needs me, but God damn it, I got to train. You're going to have to get there on your own, kid. He never thinks that. Yeah, he just does what he thinks he needs to do and figures everybody can be like him and just get by. Oh, yeah, Spy X Family is good. It's being sponsored, Sabrina, over at our Patreon right now. And, yeah, I'm a few episodes in, and it's excellent. Fantastic. Lute says, the point on Jeets, in my opinion, the reason his redemption is successful is because most of his murders aren't emotional to the viewer. Agreed. He blew up entire planets and civilizations, but it's never depicted Arlong. 100%. Like you say, no matter how much carnage he created, it's almost seen like war carnage. He did what he needed to do in his wars, as opposed to something up close and personal like that bag of shit Arlong. Wolverine says, watch for next post, okay? Chrome says, I like the Munsters, so I genuinely hate this thing, and somehow they spent millions on it. Yeah. I always watch the Munsters. Again, that's from my era, so yeah, it looks pretty bad. And right, Big Green made a good point. Goku was also kind of occasionally busy being dead. Yeah. Johnny says most of the time Goku is absent, he's off saving the world. That's true too. Between death and taking on monumental challenges, like you say, saving the world, Goku's got an excuse for a lot of the time that he's away anyway. And Gimster says, why is everyone yelling at me? Anyways, it's time to go fight the tall man bug planet destroying monster, my 11-year-old son. That about sums up his thought process. You're right, too. Well, just the fact, good point, Gimster, and just the fact that he tosses Perfect Cell a goddamn senzu bean tells you exactly how faulty Goku's thought processes are. Okay, here's Wolverine's post. He was with King Kai for the majority of the time between Cell and Buu saga. It's true. He never contacted his family once with King Kai's telepathy. His not knowing Goten is proof. Oh, spam risk. What a surprise. No, like I say, again, Wolverine, I'm not arguing the point with you. I'm not arguing the point that he's neglectful. I just stand by the fact that he's neglectful out of ignorance. He just doesn't know any better. And Gimster made a good point there too. That tells you a lot of how his mind works. It's foreign to Goku. Can't imagine that anybody wouldn't have wanted him to give Cell that Senzu bean, because of course you want to fight somebody when they're at their best, at their toughest, at their most challenging, because that's fucking Goku. Yeah, Dayton's got a good word for it. Goku's an incompetent father. I think incompetent is the best way to put it. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Lutz says still iffy on the OP catch up with as many fillers and recaps that have happened, and now apparently Oda taking a break. I think it'll be awkward to catch up and stop in the middle of so many fights. I'm definitely going forward with that though. I just too much has been talked about, and there have been too many apparently really big moments and stuff, and I just miss it. I just plain miss One Piece, so I'm definitely gonna catch some up. Oh, Anya is such a sweetie, Morgan. Anya is such a great character. I'm really, really enjoying that show. Chrome says, well, the Senzu Bean thing was to push Gohan to break his limit so he could beat Cell. Right, and that's what I mean though. Chrome, only Goku's mind would work that way. You know, to a typical father, it would be, regardless of anything else, well, at least I've got this guy weekend. Gohan, go get him now. But that's not how Goku thinks of things. Right. Big Green says, basically, Goku is a dumb dad, not a bad dad. Right. No, I agree. I think most of us are in agreement on it, basically, in the basic points of it. Really? Johnny says, speaking of anime, I heard murmurs of a Hogan's Heroes reboot. Oh, no. I hear nothing. I didn't hear about that. Oh, boy. Sabrina says, I like Yor. She, funnily enough, reminds me of my childhood cat, a killer space cadet. That's good. Real Crib says, what's the biggest thing you've been spoiled on? It was what was it, guys? It was something early on in Naruto, wasn't it? They never spoiled the mods deserve all the credit. That the whole Toby thing was never spoiled for me. But do you guys remember? It wasn't even something that huge. What the hell was it, guys? You guys are my memory anymore. You guys know mine's non-existent. But I think there was something early on in Naruto. What the hell was it? And I do know I learned not to watch anime openings due to having something small spoiled. I think it was in Naruto also. Rigid Rat says, boo, bees. Yeah, I don't remember either, Wolverine. There was something. No, it wasn't Toby. You guys said that it had popped up, but I didn't put it together. But there was something. It wasn't as big a plot point as the whole Toby thing. But I can't remember what it was. Yeah, Lute says non-flashbacks intensify. Oh, that was amazing that you guys were able to clear that minefield for me. I can't remember. I tell you what the biggest spoiler I had was. All I can tell you, it was in Naruto early on. Gimster says official sites have stated that One Piece is finally entering the final arc. Now watch people say that the ending was rushed. yeah, Gimster. That would be funny. We're only 1,073 episodes in, and you're already pushing to the end. Was it something Google spoiled, Lude? Is that what it was? Yeah, you guys are right. Now, Chrome's saying too. Now you're saying I remember that. I can't remember what the specifics were though. So you guys are already better than me. You remember? Yeah, it was something that because now that you say it, I remember being pissed off that Google has to fucking try and recommend everything to you that they think is appropriate. It was Trying to tip my. It's almost there, but yeah, it was something early in Naruto. Willie says, I'm definitely looking forward to how they'll redeem Ainz and Company. They may be the protagonists, but they are definitely evil, and light novels are ending soon. That's one of the things I love about that show, Willie. I One of the big things I just adore about Overlord is that the protagonists, the heroes, are fucking villains too. I mean, they're assholes, and I love the way that's handled. That's always one of my favorite parts of that. Yeah, Made in Abyss was really, really brutal, Miguel. I like that a lot. I like that story conceptually. I liked everything about, just the whole idea of that abyss. But yeah, that was really tough for those cute little characters. Absolutely. Well, Sabrina, apparently Oda has said that is not the case. If the One Piece turns out to be the friends you make on the way, I'm going to throw a chair. I think we all would. But it's didn't he guarantee it is actually something tangible? I think he did. It's something actually physically real, the One Piece. And we do know that it made Roger and company laugh. So I just that will be such a great moment. If I die before I get to see that, I'm going to be pissed off. Chrome says, well, the friends you made are tangible people, so not a lie. Well, I should say tangible in the respect that tangible as a reward, something you can go and see and hold. I'm just so anxious to see. I want to see why the laughter too. That's what really gets me. I was absolutely fascinated by the reaction of Roger and his crew with the laughs. That really stayed with me. I'm curious about that. Very curious. Lude says, dude, Google and social media sucks so bad with spoilers. Yep. I watched an episode of One Piece on my phone recently. The very next day, my Instagram feed was full of fan art and spoilers about a big moment in the manga. I know it sucks. When if I go like on Twitter and I see anything to do with One Piece, the name of a character, anything trending, I shut it off for the rest. I won't even go back in it for the rest of the day. Because that's why I always look at the trending topics first before I even start reading my feed or anything. And if I see anything to do with the show trending, I'm out. that one guy says the One Piece is actually Gold Roger's gold-plated toilet seat. That would be cool. That would be a cool One Piece. Big Green says, speaking of the new Tokyo Mew Mew, this was sad to read. All right, let me look at that link. Most depressing modernization change in Tokyo Mew Mew. When brochure, more than 2,500 species face extinction. 10,000 species on our planet in danger of going extinct. Cool. Not cool that they're going extinct, but Willie says, here's the thing. After so long, I hope the One Piece is worth the wait. I think it will be. I mean, we've been privy to some really phenomenal writing along the way. I don't think they'll drop the ball at the end. Pepsi says, is this stream pre-recorded? Seems like it. Yeah. A little while ago, I had recorded myself responding to your comment. So yes, it absolutely is. I'm pretty good like that. Well, a little bit of extrasensory perception. Let's see. Mila says the One Piece is a giant lever that once pulled will cause the red line to sink and the ocean will rush together, forming the all blue. That's actually paints a good visual. Oh, Licks. Licks says, I hope the ending is really bad, like really bad. I want to see the internet's reaction. Oh, man. The internet would be burning. Would be torn down. I'm not sure when I'm back on Twitch. Cool. Hopefully it'll be soon. I'm starting to get everything put together here so I can have enough time to stream over there as well. The One Piece is the Bible Black DVD. Not bad, Willie. Wick says the One Piece is going to be an infinite taco bar. It'll make Luffy ecstatic and the others will be fuming. I'd be with Luffy on that one, though. I like to eat. All right, guys. Well, I got to go. This is a fun stream. Oh, the anime chats are always a blast. Now, of course, tomorrow's Free For All Friday. Yeah, back with Free For All Friday. So we got that all planned. All that's ready to go. I'll start trying to do some more afternoon streams, too. I'm going to do some relaxation ones with some guided self-hypnosis. And I don't know, maybe just some other fun stuff. And also get back over to Twitch so we can stream over there as well, too. So it's finally coming together. As you can see, the stuff behind me and everything, I'm getting things put together. I got some stuff coming to try and kill the last little bit of the echo I have left in this room to put up on the wall. So as I get all that done, and I can devote all my time to, creating content and doing live streams, we'll be able to do more and more. But thanks for this conversation. This was a blast. I always love Anime Chat Day. I always love anytime we get to live stream. This is the absolute highlight of my day. You guys make it so much fun for me, and I could never tell you how much I appreciate that. And I will definitely see you guys tomorrow for Free For All Friday. Talk to you then.